So speaking of creativity, as a creative professional, I know that there are oftentimes two sides of that creativity. There's the creativity that you wield for business and for the office, and then there's also that creativity that you express for yourself when you're alone. Some people like to paint, other people like to play music. When you are off hours, when you're just by yourself, doing this for yourself, how do you express your creativity? What do you do to refresh those creative juices? What draws in inspiration? Is it music? Is it art? What is it?
Oh goodness. So uh, when I'm in a position to express my creativity outside of work, because as you know, it's sometimes hard to turn off work because your brain is always solving problems when you're not in your space of work, right? So when you can
Mhm,
shut your brain off, I like to paint.
mhm.
I like to draw. I recently had my first show past summer, and I had 50 pieces of work that I had been working on over a period of time. So that was a great outlet. But I love the outdoors. I love to ride my trail bike on a bike trail and just forget everything. I mean, that's how I recharge. Um, and I love to read. And so there's, I mean, when you talk about when you think about creativity and you go to my basement, I have boxes of anything and everything you can imagine, like things that I know I'll never do, but I have it because either I manufactured it or I bought it for research. So sometimes I'll just invite my girlfriends over and we'll have like a craft night, and we'll just like have some wine and have some great food, and we'll do something creative. So but you got to have a yin and yang to it, because it's like you've got to fuel your creativity by giving yourself space to do something else.
I love that. I love that. I was actually going through your work and your portfolio over on besupercreative.com, and as you know, an art nerd, I was totally in love with the abundance of art kits and products that you designed for children and adults. And as someone who's worked in marketing, I also know that having fun and interesting clients um, doesn't always translate to fun and interesting work. You've been in the industry for over a decade. Are you bored of this work? How do you keep things interesting?
I mean, the products I get to make are so fun. I mean, it's I've been lucky to be in an industry that is driven by newness. And that means you've always got to be thinking about the next widget all the time. And so your job is never ending. You're competing for shelf space, you're competing with your customers, and now you're competing with your clients, who are the Walmarts and the Targets. I mean, they've got their own private label, they're making their own product, and you're competing with the manufacturers. They got their own private label too. So now you really have to be first. You've got to be innovative, you got to be priced right. So there is always fuel to be thinking about the next widget. How do I do it better? Where can I go to watch kids? I can go to the zoo and be inspired. You go to the museum and be inspired. So in my line of work, it's not like I'm creating, a pencil and I'm doing it in red, black, green, brown, orange. It can change. I mean, the categories change. And so that I've been able to do that for 20 years because we're consumers. This is we're built on consumerism, and you guys, you want more and more and more, and so my job is to come up with the more.
Now, with everything that's going on, like I'm sure that that industry is really, you know, having to look and figure out sort of a new approach to how we're like, and obviously this goes beyond just the art industry. This is every industry trying to figure out how we're going to adapt moving forward. How do you think the coronavirus will change your industry, and will it change any of the products? Do you think there's going to be a change in terms of how we're going to be interacting with these art stores? Is there going to be an emergence of more online art shopping? Like, how is this whole scene going to play out?
I'm already seeing it. I'm seeing some of my colleagues in small business already pivot. I mean, and everybody's set up expertly to do it. You know, how can you um, compete with Amazon? Well, now you can, because it's going to take them a hell of a lot longer to deliver your product than you. I've seen some
Mm.
really brilliant online models where you pick what you want, you can pick up your stuff curbside pickup. Brilliant. I'm giving my small customers. I'm a small business. I'm giving them personalized service, and they visit my store. So I think I'm seeing some really clever things today. I think it's going to be easy for people to figure it out. Like, I live in Cleveland, and the local grocery stores here, this is probably national, they've all, or they're, a lot of them are converting to a delivery only model. They're turning over their entire stores to an Amazon type operation. And so I think social distancing, if we have to continue that, um, businesses are finding solutions and ways to serve consumers. The thing that I don't know about, and this is a challenge, is you know the labor, the people that are doing the work. I mean, you still need hands, you need bodies. How do we keep them safe? How are they going to create work processes that um, allow them to be in close confinement to get that work done? Now that's going to be the challenge. Maybe when we get up to speed with supply chain and there are enough masks for everyone, that's going to help. Maybe there going to be development of sanitization systems. I've been reading a lot about that. Um, I don't know about that part. That I'm curious to see what happens in terms of keeping people safe who've got to do that work.